Sorry.
Your love is more than good. It's good and then it's kind of fun. It's like staying up after bedtime when you're still just a kid. Your love is two for one. It's sweet and then it's kind of fun. It's like a whole lot of good things rolled up into one. Candy like love. Your love is a kind of special treat. Personal stash. And selfish with your love, you see. Your love is kind of sweet, sweet enough to eat. I put on you chocolate stuff. I got the munchies for your love. Your love is kind of sweet, sweet enough to eat. I put on you chocolate stuff. I got the munchies for your candy.
Good evening and welcome to our first edition of Indigenous Currents. In Indigenous Currents, we're going to update you on news, what's going on, what's happening, and how it relates to the indigenous population here in America. Because a lot of things happen and we just get all emotional with it, and it doesn't have anything to do with us. So what we're going to do on this side, we're going to share some of the current events that's been going on and how does it relate to us? Are we putting too much oomph into something that really doesn't have anything to do with us? Now, when we started tonight, we was playing Munchies for Your Love by Bootsy Collins. And those of you who know it, you know what's up. That's how we used to talk about our women. We used to talk about them as something that we should adore, something that we should look out for, someone that are having our children and making our families grow. We used to look at the women in a different way. Today, the Supreme Court justice that was chosen for can't even define a woman. This is where we at. So what we're going to be doing here in Indigenous Currents is giving you information, because all this information that's being put out is here to do one thing, is to confuse you. So when the Supreme Court justice says she can't identify a woman, it's going to be for your kids not to be able to identify a woman or anything or whatever they want to define this day. The main topic that everybody's talking about is something, I've never really got into, but everybody's talking about this. And they're talking about this cat, Kevin Samuels, dying in bed with the Mexican male, female, because remember, we can't define it. This is how you're going to get caught up playing in their games. Now, this cat everybody loves called Kevin Samuels, I heard him once for 2 minutes and almost threw up. But obviously, there's a lot of people who thought this cat was something to be adored. I mean, he just drugged women who looked like his mama. I can't explain that. Here's a cat that dogged sisters, and the sisters he was dogging looked just like his mama. Explain that. And this is who we worship. This is who we allow to influence us. This is who influences our children. This is what I'm saying. Derek Cobb, if I'm wrong about that, tell me. Come tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's wrong about it. And then explain it. See, a brother who's no, sir, it's always done. No, I'm going to send you the link so you can call in and express what you're saying so we can get an understanding of what you're talking about and seeing if this is the stuff you would share to your son. I'm about to share with you right now because I'm not good at talking, face to face with somebody. So, brother, this is how we're going to do the conversation. Don't be a regular Negro. Make your point. Don't take forever to do it. No, I'm posting it right in the comments right now. You have the link. Explain why this cat should be a leader of young men who are in the position of the brothers in America today. Yeah, okay. We about to talk about it. I just want you to explain it. And why, those of us who think it's bullshit are on the fence, why we should, no, I just posted it. You see it on Indigenous One, you see it. I just posted it in the group. Press that link, come on, get on, and we're going to talk about it. All right, brother, take care. I don't want to call you. I just gave you the link so you can get on. I'm not hooked up. My communication system is outside the computer. That's why I sent you the link to come on. So when you're ready, you're welcome. So cats like this, influencers, who they call influencers, whatever. This is what guides the way we think. This is not the time now for men and women to be arguing with each other, right or wrong. Should we be arguing with the women? Should the women be arguing with the men? Is that what we should do? Is that what we should do? Just dogging the women. And it reminds me of that picture, that 1800 picture when the women are being sold and the brothers in the top hats and the tuxedos are out selling them, and the brothers and the little boys in the street selling fruit. You remember that image. If not, dig on your history. So we're going to get into that tonight because we're going to get into it. See, I like to talk to Indigenous women because their feet are on the ground. Their feet are on the ground. They're looking at what's going on, not for her benefit, but she may have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephew. She has to look out for all of them. The men are supposed to do that too, but yeah, just dog the women out. You old? Derek Cobb says he's old. What that mean? Then you should be coming on spilling it. If you old, I'm sure you got a lot of information. Why is it your bad? Come on, brother. You see what's happening to us out here? You old and you still saying my bad and you wonder why we lose? That's why. The image you see up on the screen right now are these brothers. They're in something called this was your government back in the 1860s when you were supposed to be on slave ships, picking cotton, whatnot. This was your government set. This was your government. Europeans didn't come over here having a government. They have a government. They were under the rule of a king, right? This was your government. Still is, but you just don't man the position. This picture was, or this drawing, this is Louisiana. It's in all the states. I know it's in Alabama, but this is the state of Louisiana. But I just want to share something with you to keep in mind. And this is where your government starts because we act like we don't know nothing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. You see, it says 1868 at the bottom with portraits of the distinguished members of the convention and assembly. Assembly is how you organize. You organize. You can't organize when you dragging your women through the mud. You can't organize when you kicking the men in the mouth. You'll never build nothing. You're too busy arguing with each other over dumb shit. So next week, me and the Accomack Princess, we're going to get into this assembly this time next week. But for now, we want to get into what's, ailing us today, information that we can bring you that you can use it and you can use it. It's something that you can do simply. So without any further ado, here's the Accomack Princess, Miss Lisa Cypress. How you doing, Lisa?
Kayuk Oseyo, how you doing, everyone? Derek Cobb, you should have came on the program because that would have been interesting information. But I can tell you one thing: Kevin Samuels, his derogatory, superficial analysis of women and relationships, who looks good enough, who's on each other's level, that crap is not healthy, okay? Because there are enough unhealthy attitudes in the world. There is enough superficiality in this world where everybody's looking at everybody for what they are bringing physically and financially or what have you. Nobody has substance. Nobody is trying to grow internally. They're not trying to build their skill sets. They're not trying to build their mental capacity, their heart capacity. So this Kevin Samuels wasn't teaching and preaching that. It was strictly superficial information, completely superficial. We can't encourage that kind of attitude. We can't encourage a man who speaks to women like they're just dogs and like they're stupid on his program. He would completely annihilate women, make them feel extremely foolish.
Well, can I ask you a question? Why do so many people love this?
I don't understand. I think men are feeling rather weak. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what these are not men to me. The kind of men that would enjoy that program are not the kind of men that I want to see on the planet, to tell you the truth. I mean, I don't want to see him on the planet. So I say hip hip hooray, the King Kong, the witch is dead. That's what I say for Kevin Samuels. The witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. I'm happy. That little witch is dead because it wasn't even a man. And any real man knows that's not a man. And the problem, I think, is that real men don't have real men as examples. So they look to these mouthy, feminine men as examples of men. They are men. Fortunately, I had a father that was a real damn man. And
You're
a real man is not Kevin Samuels at all.
okay. Well, we got a real man now. Your Keith Cobb. I guess this is Derek Cobb's brother, or is it
Is
Derek? I don't know. I don't know.
Not at
Keith
all,
Cobb.
brother. Not at all, brother. My name is spelled Cobbs. I'm not related to that guy at all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No worries.
What's going on, brother?
Not too much, Mr. Indigenous One. I'm glad you let me join your platform tonight. I'm here, humble, ready to hear your message, my man. I'm a student.
Hey, man, look. You are the one. It ain't me. You're the one. Seriously.
I appreciate that.
We all, man, we all fruit from the same tree. That's why I say that we keep playing that we're these other people, these fictional characters. What do you think fictional characters are going to build? Not a goddamn thing.
A bunch of more lies.
That's all we get, brother. So
a bunch of lies.
You know what's up. Your mama, your daddy taught you right and wrong to get you this far. How do we just shit in their faces and then expect people to love us? So you see what Derek Cobb is saying about you, Lisa, right? Lady, are you a baby mama or are you a wife? Ooh, your mic is off. You muted. You muted.
I didn't. What was your question?
I was talking to Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't talk out. I didn't talk.
Yeah, you're muted. Okay, let
okay.
Mr. Cobb. We're gonna get back to you, brother.
Yeah. Oh, Derek Cobb. Derek Cobb. I'm over 40. I'm not a child. I'm not. I am not a baby mama. I was married. I've married over 13 years. I was with the man over 15 years. I have grandchildren, grandsons, and daughters. And I know. I don't know what you're trying to get at, but let me tell you something. There's a reason. A man is not the one who's going to train women as to how to handle ourselves. He's not suitable. If he's feminine, then he can tell a woman what to do. It's the women that need to guide the women. He needs to be guiding men to be better men, but he doesn't know how to because he was too feminized to do so. So I can tell you for a fact that this Kevin Samuels, he wasn't in bed with no man, no woman rather. He was in bed with a woman with maybe loosely, or someone loosely described as a woman, someone with a penis and that was feminine. But he obviously was not a man. He did not like anything about women. It was very obvious, and I don't know how you can see that. The key to getting our community back together is to become the conservative people that we indigenous people really are. We have conservative values. Our children don't even understand how we used to be. I had a conversation. I'm going to break this down to you, Derek, since you don't know. I had a conversation with a young 13-year-old girl this weekend who was having real issues with her sexuality. She's wilding out, sending daggone text messages and talking about being, bisexual, don't know whether she liked this or that, likes it all, all of that, right? So I was asked to talk to this child, and I talked to her and I said, do you understand that when I grew up and when my grandmother grew up, women were like, the majority of us tried to keep our legs closed. We actually did. We tried to keep our legs closed. We were the gatekeepers. That is when society is built. It's built on the women being strong, having standards and values, and being gatekeepers and regulating our sense of ethics. So I explained to this child when you are a gay, when you act as you are, you have love for yourself, when you actually should know the worth of your body. And do you know that your value starts from your heart to your head, not from down here? Then you will conduct yourself differently. Then you will see when you know your true worth, you're not going to let somebody tell you that it's all between your legs and let somebody just come at you like they're worthy of that just from any jump street. That's the kind of message that our people need, not the message that Kevin Samuels was given. That's not it. And I told her, I said, my grandmother, one great video we did of her before she died, she said, I ain't had no babies before I was married. And she was very proud of this fact, right? Because she had cousins that were doing that. And it was horrible because she was babysitting them. And, this is the thing. And then the girl was shocked because she didn't hear. I said, child, do you know that Lucille Ball used to be a show that used to come on when I was a child? And Lucy and Ricky were married, male and female, and they could not sleep in the same bed? She was like, what? We have a whole generation of people who do not know that this country used to try to protect the children a little bit. It was a G-rated world instead of a X-rated world. This is a triple X-rated world. So Kevin Samuels, I am so happy you're gone. You brought nothing into this world but confusion. You confused the man, thinking that he could talk anyway to a woman, thinking that just because he has a suit, he can act like he's better than some woman and that a woman has to rise to some kind of special daggone standard to be in his world. Please, please. A good haircut and a suit don't make you God. We have to respect each other. But it's very important that the masculine respects the feminine. It's very also important that the feminine respects the masculine. A lot of us don't know what that is, but we're going to have to build it back. That's something to build back. I close my mic.
So a lot of people, will disagree with what you're saying. And my question is, how do people not see this? So, it's like he was, so like, the 2 minutes I heard him, he was dragging sisters. Dragging. And I'm like, wonder what this cat mama's like. Because, when you're talking about one, I can't talk about sisters bad in front of my sister, nieces, daughters, mama. None of them having it. But this dude can just drag sisters. I know many of you out there have heard a lot more of his stuff than I have. This dude was grabbing sisters by the weave and dragging them through the mud. That's the equivalent that I can give how he was doing these sisters. And my question is, how do we think that's cool? How do we think that's all right to do? When your women are being dogged out in these hospitals, when your men are being locked up left and right, when you being shot on demand, when you being inoculated to be off this planet, when they taking your titties, when they taking your uterus, what? And we dog each other out? What kind of monsters are you? Seriously, really? All this is going around, happening to you, happening to your next door neighbor, but you still go rob your neighbor? Explain. Don't come with that dumb shit. Explain how you do this, and this kind of cat can influence millions of you. I heard this cat. Oh, this brother saying it right now. This is how I know what I'm talking about, because somebody else agrees simultaneously. Check out what freedom from the outside say. It's wild people can't tell Kevin Samuel was a propped up agent of social engineering, adding to dissension between Indigenous men and women, while appearing to date foreign women with a tangy twist. Is he telling the truth? Yeah. So a statement like that, that's like watering your plant off of what you already know. But if you don't know shit, what this brother's telling you, I just got to the word agent. This brother's telling you, and many of you guys do that too, and I thank you for that. You know, that's why I post what you say up on the screen, because there's some intelligent stuff. It's like adding season and salt to what I'm saying, or I'm adding season and salt to what you're saying. When we speak, we have to communicate. We have to be on the same page. Later for what you think, because normally what you know, you didn't think it up. You got it from somebody else, didn't you? And you believed it. That's all of what the African American, Negro, Black, colored, that's all they know. They don't have think tanks where they teach their kids what to think later on. You know, don't do that. They're not into that. They used to take them to the church, but they've been made an ass out of, and people still go to them. So what's happening now is everybody sees it now. You in the middle of this country is full of immigrants from everywhere. Just came back from Los Angeles last week. Guess what the newest city in Los Angeles is? It may not be the newest, but it's the newest for me. Little Bangladesh. Little Bangladesh. This is what we do. Other people can come set up their countries in your country. And guess what you do? Drag your women through the mud. That's why these clowns, that's why I when she says dead, you got to go. You're not bringing no life. Imagine if this cat had kids. Imagine if this cat had daughters. I don't know if he did or not. I don't know. Imagine that, what he's doing to the community. And you send them checks. These Negroes get checks because you break them off, don't you? Yeah. And these are the ones who are influencing the community. So look, since he's supposedly dead now, I don't know, you know how this media is. This is a cat that, I mean, none of us, if I'm not saying nothing, I shouldn't be here. Damn, we're here to promote life. And we're doing a real shitty job of doing that. And it's definitely not everybody, because there's some people out there putting in work. You know who I'm talking about. You would build other men's empires on top of your grandmamas and granddaddy graves, won't you? That's the African American. Keith Cobb, share with us for a few minutes, brother.
I am. I'm right here with you. I ain't going nowhere.
Let everybody know you in here.
I am definitely in the house. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm from Indianapolis, and I've been checking you out for a minute. You just don't know it, but I've been watching you. And when I saw you about to come live tonight, I thought I'd join you and enjoy some of the conversation, because I enjoy a lot of stuff that I hear from you anyway. Yeah, I think you're a real cool cat. I'm sorry.
You sure, man? Because some people say I'm mean. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm stupid.
No, one thing our people don't need is indirect talk. We need direct talk.
Hey, man. So one of the cat people I get into is with these brothers who get in all these groups. I mean, me and you can be here the rest of the night talking about all these fictional groups, fictional characters. Brothers always try to be in. Sisters try to be in it too, but I'll let Lisa talk about that. Black, Hoteps, Africans, Greeks, Hebrew Israelites, Christians, Muslims, and wonder why the fuck we can't get together. Everybody's on this fictional character. You know, if you go to, I was in Israel one time, and this is funny. This is why I say, if you travel, don't go to travel just to fuck the people there. Learn something from them. I asked the guide who was taking us around, Israel's a shithole, for those of you who don't know. So I asked the guy who was the tour guide, I said, hey man, where's all the people in the Bible buried? This dude almost fell out. Like, man, he said, man, I don't even believe you. I don't even believe you believe it. I'm just doing my job. I mean, this is what we do. Your mom and daddy buried right here. You won't even go see them. You will travel 5,000 miles to go see some. This is the Negro. Come on, man. We should still be teaching our children that. We should still be teaching the grandchildren that are coming that, because it hasn't done nothing for them, but we should, and this is what the Negro does. I don't know how we don't see it. I don't know how we don't see it, brother. I mean, I talk to brothers every day, and what they talk about, you like, well, explain that. They can't explain nothing they say. Not the ministers, not the professors at the colleges, none of these shines. What are you doing? And that's what I'm saying. It's the people like me, you, other people, Lisa, other people. We got to take control of the government, man. These people have been dicking you around for so long. You don't have your court set up. I don't. That's what we do. That's what we do. We never have answers for nothing, but we have answers for everybody else. That's true. The Negro. That's the Negro. So, brother, I'm no different from you. I'm no different from nobody. We see what's happening. The stakes are, we about to get wiped off this planet. If we keep going the way we going, this is how they got us. This little chick is the first Black Supreme Court justice, female. She's not from here, of course. How you know? You can't look at her and tell.
Right.
This is how bad we got. Check this out. They asked her, define what a woman is. I don't know. Are you serious? This is where we are. So it's going to be you, your kids, all the people everywhere going to have to stand. You're going to have to take over this government because you see what kind of clowns you got running that. You'd be ashamed to say this is the government that you voted for. This is a joke. It's been a joke. And so we just have to assemble ourselves, brother. That's all.
My question was to you, what would be, from your perspective, what would be for our race, what would be a best chess move, as far as combating what's happening right now? Because I'm like you, they come next census, it's going to be pretty much all Caucasians, the way they letting everybody just say they white, what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to eliminate us, like you said. And I'm just wondering, what would be your...
First of all, I'm gonna ask you a question. First of all, they're gonna fail. Second of all, what we should do, you remember the Montgomery bus boycott back in the, I don't know what year it was. Mm-hmm. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What if we just did that?
Exactly.
I'm talking about everybody.
Exactly.
What would happen? Think about it. Seriously, because this is why you have to be taught all these other ideologies. You're connected to the planet here. You're connected to it. It sends waves out. That's why people grow their locks. Why? So when the sun hits you, your hair grabs it. When you wear that other stuff, the sun reflects. We don't know that? No, we don't. And we're supposed to be the first man and woman on the planet. We look dumb when we say that to other people. We look dumb. Huh? Yeah, other people from other nations come over and set up shop in your backyard, and you a Greek? Explain that. Explain that.
True.
Come on, y'all. We're living this fictional life. It makes no sense. It's killing us. It's wearing us out. Life expectancy is probably cut in half to what it was when they got here, at least. Because we do so much stupid shit because it's not even funny. And we're proud of it. We act like, hey, I can do what I want to do, nigga. You don't tell me what to do.
I have a solution. I was gonna save it for later, but I have a solution that I was gonna offer because just this week I was just doing some. Let me share my screen. Okay, is this me? I don't know what that is. What is that? I don't want to do that. Can I get rid of that? I'm gonna stop that. All right, share. That's what I want to do. I just want to share. Where's my share? Okay. All right, I'm gonna share that. All right, so that being the case, this is what I wanted to say real quick. Y'all heard the story of Sam Hose?
No.
Sam Hose. And that's the thing. I think this is what y'all want reparations. I got it. Okay. Y'all want money. I got it. Sam Hose, for example, he was in Coweta County, Georgia, Noonan County. Okay. Macon, USA. A lot of people were related to Sam Hose. A lot of people are related to Sam Hose, right? If you were to actually look into this whole thing, this guy was 24 years old in 1899. Now we're gonna talk about the truth about our history tomorrow and about what was really going on before the Civil War and what the Civil War was really about, because this is when they got angry. Now look at Sam Hose in 1899 at 24 years old. You see this suit he got on? This is not somebody who came out the fields and had no recourse for making money, okay? Left out there with no food, no resources, no nothing. This man is a resourceful 24-year-old man, okay? The thing that is really outstanding about this whole situation with Sam Hose is that Sam Hose was international news in 1899, okay? Get this down. Don't know. Get this out now. First. Later. Okay. All right. Later. All right. So Sam Hose was international news. Oh, they proud of it. Okay. All right. But this is what is really big about Sam Hose. Sam Hose, his lynching, his burning at the stake was called for by what? The Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Plus, you see in this article, there were the Herald and the Advertiser, other publications, but they said 1,500 Atlanteans came to his lynching. Trains were bringing people in. What y'all don't understand is my point is this: if, and this is a fact, it's recorded, that the AJC actually called for them to burn him at the stake before they even found this man. The families need to get together and sue the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Sue for his death. Not only that, think about all the other floodings, the other burnings that they actually instigated in that paper. Start your lawsuits. Your families had their own personal Holocaust. Let me tell you, if we start hitting up all these companies, all these institutions with lawsuit after lawsuit about all the terroristic, all the racial stuff that they've done to us, all the destruction of our property, all the destruction of our lives, they're going to want to give us reparations. They're going to say, God, give them something. Let's stop the damn lawsuit. Stop it. Somebody do something. We need to start filing suit based on our genealogy. We need to find the things that was done in our families and deal with it. If your family fled an area and shit was happening there, you need to be filing suit. If the paper was promoting it, they need to pay for it. We need to destroy the AJC. The AJC needs to be broke. I'm not related to hoes, I don't think, but I'm pretty sure. But I know that there are many people who are related to Sam Hose, also known as Tom Wilkes. Tom Wilkes. If you are related to Wilkes that are from the Noonan, Coweta County area, Noonan County, Coweta County, Macon area, you are related to him, you need to get on it. You need to start organizing yourselves. Because the AJC owes you. And that's the kind of things we need to be focused on. We also need to be talking to our children, our young people, about our values. Because this child that I talked to had no damn idea that people had a different way of thinking before she came into the world. That we had different standards. That all this ACDC stuff is on purpose because grown folks want to have sex with you. They want to sexualize you. They sit up there trying to show commercials where you can shave your pubic hair. They got morning after pills that you don't have to ask nobody to get. Do you understand what a disgusting world these children are coming up in? We need to start groups of people to go into the schools and start getting our babies back, because everybody's not equipped to have these conversations with children. Everybody's not equipped to guide them in the right way. But those of us who can need to get started, because these children haven't a clue, and we're leaving them out there laid out for predators. We're leaving them out there laid out for predators while people are having stupid damn fights on the internet and trying to act like they damn chiefs or something. We need to protect the children. And they don't just need to know that they're any, but they need to know the kind of values that have protected us for all time. We've always been a conservative people. We've always been respectful of each other and of nature and comfortable with nature. We've always been creative and creators. And kids are sitting up there acting like zombies. They don't have no imagination no more.
No.
When I had the summit, I had a checkerboard. The babies didn't know how to play checkers. The babies, I had one of them times you lay out on the floor. You know, they're big checkers, big old discs. The babies didn't know how to play checkers. We are letting this monster demon of a TV and the daggone phone babysit the children, and these demons are taking over our babies and our future. We have got to get this back. You want a solution? Look, let me tell you something. there was there's a series of lynching articles done by the Associated Press in 2001. Okay. Now, what were we doing in 2001? Well, we were tripping because they had 9/11. So everybody was tripping, right? All the rules of traveling changed. We was like, thank God it's Christmas. Some of us were mourning because I had family members that lost in the 9/11. So some of us was mourning, some of us, but basically it was after, this is when they had this series of articles. It was like 4 or 5 articles, right? When they steal your land, they steal your future. And let me tell you something. In these articles, folks, it's your money in these articles. Because when you look into these articles, you're going to find some information about your own genealogy. Matthews, North Carolina. Ablo Wedding Stewart. That might be your people. But you don't know about it. Why? Because grandmama or auntie she got an interview for the article. Nobody talked about it. She didn't talk about it. And it didn't get passed on to you. Why? Because you hadn't done your genealogy and found out that they're distant cousins. You need to get all this information. Hickman, Kentucky, home of a black farmer. This might be your people, the Walker family. David Walker in Hickman, Kentucky. This may be your relatives. See, the people that would live there, they get so downtrodden and beat down, they don't fight. They don't talk about it. They shut up. But you do your genealogy, you find out you from that area, Hickman. You find out you kin to David Walker. It's your fight to take up. It's you to reclaim that money for everybody.
You see why they push all these foreign fictional characters on you?
You got real people.
Yep.
1964, Alabama. Lemon Williams and Lawrence Hudson. 2 40-acre farms in the family in Sweetwater, Alabama for nearly a century. You know it was forever. Come on, y'all. That's your people. Your people, your land, this justice this needs to be brought back up, and you need to look deeper. You need to look at the daggone companies that are in the area, these companies that were benefiting off of that land, they took over that land. You need to sue these newspapers that promoted the death of your family members. Sue the daggone people that did that. And see how fast they want to give something to the indigenous people then. See how fast they want to daggone give us some repair then, when we start actually fighting for what's really in our families. And we stop looking back to slaves that may have not even been slaves, but to the real people they were lynching and burning out and flooding. Let's start fighting for that. What are they going to say about that? They're going to say, uh-oh. They're going to say, uh-oh. They're going to say, uh-oh. Look at all this. This is just one of the articles, okay? Now, they said Reverend Isaac Simons, he fought to get his land back in Mississippi. Simmons. Okay, so, so this is a series of articles done by the Associated Press. Y'all look. Y'all seen this picture? That picture, these 3 that was lynched in Virginia, West Virginia. These brothers was celebrating because they had their good mind and money. Okay, they was getting paid. They had money in their pockets. They were happy because they was making money and it was all good and everything. And what did the white folks do? Because they don't like seeing, us happy or having money. You see what I'm saying? That's what they do when they see us happy and having money. See? You see this? You see this? These top pictures were when They went out that day and they got pictures taken because they were so proud of how fine they looked and the money they had in their pocket. They would celebrate. Getting ready, going out, having a good time. And at the bottom was the same 24 hours when they friggin' hung. What about SS Griffin and Company that made this damn picture? I bet you they still a company today. You need to understand that the people that they always try to act like the past is in the past. Bitches, no, they built off of the damn past. They are and the past ain't that far back because they didn't start. They were so broke and so mad. That's why they were lynching us like that. Because we had all the land. Before the Civil War, we had all the land, y'all. The Civil War was a land grab. In the late 1800s to the early 1900s, that's when they took this shit over. Before that, they wasn't getting nowhere. And that's why they had to also, at the same time in the late 1800s, bring in a whole bunch more of them. They flooded the daggone country with immigrants. Flooded it. Because they needed more numbers. And now they're doing it over again. But we're not paying attention. We better pay attention to this. They're doing it over again. And now they're trying to make it okay to lynch a nigga for saying something about a gay, a LBGT, or they're going to lynch a nigga for saying something about a daggone Asian. That's the new lynching link. Do you recognize it for what it is? Do you? Do you really? Look at this. Horrified by the surge of anti-Asian violence, she's giving her community tools to protect themselves. Some like warning device, some panic button for them to call for help. Honey, we need to stop going to their businesses at once. Paint your own damn nails. Wear your own hair. Stop putting the toxins into your scalp. Even the hair grease is poison.
What you said. Yeah, no doubt.
I talked to my friend, she was in the nail. I said, what you doing in the Asian nail? I said, girl, you need to drive 2 towns over and get your nails done, or sit down and bend over and paint your own. That's what I did. I did my own. If I had numbers, my daughter gave me information of people that are us, indigenous people that do our toes, okay? But I didn't have the time, so I went ahead and did it myself. Stop it. Go and get yourself the proper tools from Amazon or wherever you want to buy, because Amazon's okay, because the brother got them in check with the union. We're celebrating that today. But yes, let me tell you something. This anti-Asian violence, this is the ticket for our people to go to jail. That's where all our slow people, all our daggone little little low class, little thievy little people that don't steal nothing. They ain't stealing nothing. What you getting out of a friggin' Asian store anyway? It's cheap shit. It ain't even worth nobody fighting you for it. Okay?
Exactly.
And they're gonna fight you and jail you for this. This is outrageous. Let me tell you, when you see articles like this one, do what I did. Right here in that corner right here, I made a comment. They erased it. I put it up there again. Asians place businesses in highly impoverished crime areas. They won't live or attend schools in the areas. They prey upon poor people with limited resources without integrating. They provide cheap and poisonous products and foods. They take without contributing to the community, and they rarely provide jobs. People get robbed doing business in a high crime area. It's a fact. Theft is not a hate crime. It is the risk of doing business in an impoverished area. Being robbed while taking advantage of poor people is not a hate crime. Stop the false propaganda. That
Right.
is what we need to be saying, y'all.
Right.
Copy and repeat. Take my daggone thing and copy and paste that shit. That's what we need to be saying. Every time they bring up Asian hate, we need to say this because they go in our areas and they prey upon our poor. It's preying upon us. Speak it like it is. Don't let this go by without us speaking it in the right way publicly. They're preying upon the poor. Turn this shit around the way it's supposed to be. Don't let us die with our descendants looking at us saying, "Why didn't you speak up?" We gotta speak up.
Somebody turn to your neighbor. Is she telling the truth, y'all?
Yes, indeed. And
I'm telling
you know what's so tripped out is the Asian people, they real bold about how they deal with you. Like they want you to do something, like they intimidate you, trying to get you into something, that's gonna actually criminalize you. Even
Right.
if you call, even, like I said, you can go to jail for calling them slant eyes and everything else.
Right.
And it's sad. I had an African guy at one of the bodegas down the street. I went in there to pay for my gas and we were just talking in general, but the conversation actually led to him telling me that they were here borrowing our land. And it
that's
freaked
what
me out. And I told him how I felt about it. I said, you know what? One thing I do know about you is that my father and my mother ain't never made no long distance call to Africa to talk to none of my relatives. So I don't know what you talk, like I told him. I said, I think, yeah, you might, yeah, you right. I believe that y'all are over here borrowing our land. And just like you said earlier, Carrie, they sending money back to build up their economy on our backs because they all in the black neighborhoods. Africans, Chinese, Koreans, they all in our neighborhoods. But you can go outside of Indianapolis in the white suburban areas and you can't even find a nail shop over there.
Right. Right. So why are we feeding them? I also plead to people in this chat. Why don't you just take one day out of your week and sit for 1 hour in front of a nail salon or a supply beauty salon with a sign saying they don't support us, Asian, or something like Asian hate crimes. Asians prey on our dollars and then charge us with hate crimes. That's what we need to have signs saying. Asians prey on our poor dollars and then charge us with hate crimes. That's what kind of signs we need to hold. Because
damn.
they prey on our dollars and then they charge us with hate crimes. How is that okay? Make signs. It's not right. Put it on your car. Write it on your car. We need to let the world know we're not going to sit down on this shit. This is ridiculous. Because you know why? Because it's one thing when there's some credibility to something. But there's another thing when there's not any credibility to this. They come into our areas and prey upon us. That's the only reason they even come in contact with us. Because they want our poor money. They want a little bit of dollars that we got to make them rich. And now they want to put us in jail? Come on. We put your families through several daggone generations of very expensive schools. And you want to jail our people? Because you know the people that's stealing, they off, they slow, they ain't right. It's not our general population. And the person that clonks them over the head, they ain't right in the head. They take that risk being among our people and when we have slow people walking our streets. Come on now. You're going to lock our people up for all time over a few cheap items. items that ain't worth shit, items that are toxic and broke down. We're gonna take this and not say nothing? Y'all, don't look in the mirror if you don't say something or do something about this shit.
Trap wherever you go.
You need to have a sign. Put it on your windshield. Write it with some soap. Make a fucking t-shirt. I don't care, but you need to make it known. And you see things like this posted, you need to make your comment. White folks make their comments. They let the world know what they feel. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all need to talk to the people that are doing this shit. Because what the truth is that this bitch ain't a victim. And your granny ain't a victim. They're predators. They're predators. When you prey
Organize.
upon the poor in their neighborhoods and take their tiny little dollars, and then you criminalize them because they take a trinket that ain't worth shit out of your store.
Organize.
What was it over in Harlem? The sister that had the restaurant, Miss Sylvia. What did Miss Sylvia tell me? Because I said, Miss Sylvia, I was in New York in the 80s before I moved to Dan, Texas. I grew up top, and I said, girl, how did you make it through the 80s with all that crack? It was shot out here. How did you survive that time? She said, I fed the crackheads out my back door and they looked out for me. That's what we do when we're in our neighborhoods. We feed our little crackheads. We take care of our people. These people come in and they prey upon us and they're scared of us and they want to lock us up. Did she say she called the police and had them locked up? Did Miss Sylvia say that to me? No, she
Nope.
didn't. She said, I fed them. What is that? Doesn't that make you feel something? Like when you, just the thought, the lady said, I fed him. I fed him. Dang. That's real, man. That's real. That's the way it should be. That's how we need to be.
Simultaneously, leave everybody else alone because, like Lisa says, they don't support you. They just come in and take what little you have. And
So
this
at
is
the
what,
same, sorry.
and this is what I mean. We got to stop thinking. One of the things you got to stop thinking you are what other people say you are. They're going to want to tell you what you are for their advantage, not yours. You got to be crazy to think that we're only 13% of the population. For what, the past 40, we haven't grown none? How are these people making all of their money? Off of you because you don't compete with them. They come in and get everything you got. And you plus you give them, you buy whatever they got to sell. That's how we lose. They don't buy nothing from you. They'd get kicked out of their own community if they did that. I'm not talking about the little meals or whatever. We're not making cars. We're not thinking about that. We're what are we thinking about? We're not thinking having our own sports leagues. These are nothing compared to food. Where the farmers at? Shouldn't we be farming? Big time. I mean, these are the things we got to be doing. We can't keep eating this 3D food they selling us. what you call it, printing, 3D printing food. This is what
3D,
they 3D printing. This is
3D,
what you're
3D
fed.
printed bacon.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was at a
yeah.
hotel this weekend and I talked to Carrie. I was like, Carrie, I went down to in the hotel. I was like, oh, I'm gonna give me some bacon and some oatmeal. Man, I looked at that bacon. I said, that ain't no bacon. First of all, bacon you cannot slice that damn thin. If you slice bacon that daggone paper thin, the fat part's gonna just melt. You're just gonna
Yeah.
have the meat part. Well, they had fat part that was paper thin. I said, this is 3D bacon. This ain't no thin. This is 3D printed bacon. It ain't no daggone bacon. What is this food? I immediately threw that stuff out. Well, the oatmeal I ate, I felt that that was real. But that's the thing. I mean, they're not serving people food. That's a whole nother thing. And
The
if you
seed,
look at
yeah, that seedless fruit is a trip too.
all these seedless, that's right, because these damn oranges and these daggone grapes that you know how we love me some grapes and stuff. No, don't eat that stuff. That's not food. You might as well have a damn Twizzler. What the world is that? That's not food. And
No seeds.
look at Lizzo. Lizzo's on the screen, right? Lizzo got a whole team of dancers, and they can dance their ass off, and they work out like freaking I don't know Olympians, okay? And that's a fact. But these women are not losing weight. Why? Because we're not eating food. There's no way these women work out and dance like that, and they should not lose weight. They are not being fed food. It's not food. There's a very bad thing going on. Anyway, this article that's above Lizzo is really about the racist presentation that sparks outrage at a Walkie school. And I don't know where Walkie is, but I guess I can read. But anyway, basically, they said that the person in the school I think it was administrator said something about illegal immigrants need to go back to where they are, why illegals need to go home, and Indian Mexicans are bad, I guess, or something like that. And it was a ninth grader. It was a ninth grader made the presentation. I don't even know. But basically, what they're trying to do is make it so they can say that you are committing a hate crime if you say anything about any immigrants. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so you can't say nothing about immigrants, Asians, or any LGBT people. That's what they're trying to do. But yet they want a daggone they want abortion and all this other stuff. Yeah.
So what
We
do
are
you think? So
also
what do you, since you brought that up, what are your thoughts on this abortion?
well, I'm glad. I'm glad that it's gone because obviously we understand these people that are trying to promote it are about killing the indigenous people. You see, everything is done to kill us. They brought heroin in to play to kill us. They brought crack in to kill us. They brought meth to kill us. They brought oxy to kill us. They brought sipping syrup to kill us. Everything is really directed at the Indian. They don't care if there's a byproduct of a few whites going. They are okay with that risk. One thing they know that's going to happen is the whites are going to go to jail, which is why now they're decriminalizing narcotics because they don't want to jail they're good white people and they don't want to criminalize them. So we got to understand when we see abortion, that's for us. Texas is trying to preserve the white women's babies. That's why Texas is against abortion. But at the same time, Texas wants to give the vax to your babies. They want to give that daggone what is that damn vaccination for you know, HPV. They want to give that to your baby so they can sterilize your babies. You see, they made that mandatory for 12-year-olds. So while they say no to abortion, they say yes to vaccination because vaccination is more controlled. They can give a lot to your kids at your schools while they give another lot to the kids at their schools that don't have nothing in it. Vaccination can be controlled by the lots they send to different demographics. That's why they are pushing vaccinations.
Sister, do you
That's
believe they do the same thing with like in the grocery stores as far as the food that
oh,
they put on?
food. Absolutely. The food that we get, they know which goes where. They
I
know which
didn't
shipments go. Hello?
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you didn't. Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, they know what shipments of food goes where, and they know what's going into what communities, and they know they send garbage to our communities. Let me tell you, we got supermarkets in Decatur that got things I don't even know where the hell that shit came from. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I mean, it's like it looks like it's gonna kill you. I mean, and it's just horrible. And I mean, I'm very, I've been a very mobilely out of my, I have not been in one place for the last COVID years. So I have not even been home. But this is my first damn week really of sitting home, and I'm like over it. Let me tell you something. We need to get into these schools and into these supermarkets and into these daggone Asian places, and we need to start regulating our own towns. We need, if they're liquor stores, we need to get rid of all that daggone gut liquor. We need to say, look, we need you to have some indigenous, all these indigenous brands. Give them a list of brands of liquor that are owned by indigenous people, made by the indigenous people, and they need to carry it. Get rid of all that Irish Rose bullshit stuff that kills people instantaneously. Tell them they better stop here carrying that shit. See this? I mean, we have to become our own community leaders. We have to clean up the house. It's dirty. It's filthy. We got to get some of this shit regulated. We got a lot of work to do. We don't have time for these dumb people that's talking dumb about, oh, who's so we're mad at all these angry birds and dumbass chiefs. We don't have time for this. We got real things that are going on right now that we need to be paying attention to. They're making everybody, they're condemning people for talking about the damn Roe versus Wade and all that shit. They're trying to take us out. And they think historically the Negro has cared what people think, right? So they think the same shit's gonna continue to work on us that has always worked. We don't give a shit what they think. We don't trust their fucking fake people that they put in office and they putting daggone on these daggone celebrity status. They're not our celebrities. Billy Porter, they did a whole article on that daggone Billy Porter's opinion on Roe versus Wade. Really?
Who's Billy
Come
Porter?
on now.
You know he's a brother, gay brother, stuff to show up in a whole nightgown.
Wear a whole nightgown.
Oh, that's
and,
all.
and,
He's
and,
trying
now,
to see.
and he's talking about that the LGBT needs to get involved. Why? They don't make babies. What do they have to do with this conversation in any way?
Maybe he'll be the first. Maybe
None of them are set out to make babies because they're not heterosexual.
Right.
So how do they get a seat at the table on this discussion?
Right.
How?
Because they want a woman's perspective and a man's perspective at the same time, I guess.
Well,
it's crazy.
I'm with Sunchild 51, and they say they're not real. I think these people are just hung up in a closet somewhere to when they're needed.
Yep.
I mean, I don't really see them being relevant, like you said. Why are they relevant?
Yeah, they gave this guy a whole show.
He got a whole show? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got a whole show. Or he had
Like
one at one time. He had one at one time. Hmm.
this is, I mean, this is who they think we need to be listening to. Some weirdo who wears a dress, and meanwhile we got people being executed along the highway, and all these weird things are happening, and
Every day.
every day, and
Every day.
children are being abducted and missing and all this stuff, and we're supposed to be thinking about what Billy, whatever Porter says. Really, we're supposed to care about that?
Yeah. Yeah. There was a 14-year-old girl come up missing yesterday here in Indianapolis. Nobody
See,
knows where she is. And
right.
I spoke on this on Facebook several years ago about how there's so many missing Black people that are gone and nobody know where they are. Nobody knows. There was a young brother that was an archaeologist working out in Arizona on some that where they found a lot of the Egyptian hieroglyphs and stuff like that. So they've been doing further research. Well, this young brother, he unfortunately he had one hand, but he was still a great archaeologist. He leaves the archaeologist site, and a few miles down the road, disappears. Car's still there. The car's computer show where somebody tried to repeatedly start the car up, and they still have not found this young man yet.
See, that's terrible. But see, that's why, like I said, we need to get organized, and we need to get together. And what I can tell you is that, I can tell you with a certainty that you may not have your family may think, oh, they don't agree, they don't think, they're not on point, they don't listen to what I say. But as you actually organize yourself into a people and start reaching out to your kin who are distantly or not even related to you, but related to your tribe, your people will surface. And like now it's to the point, like today, a lot of people just called me. Like, I'm like, they looking out for me. They trying to find out, you know what I mean? So and they trying to get updates on what's going on with the court case and stuff like that. So I'm just saying, once you start doing things and looking for people, the real people in your kinships are going to arise. Your real team is going to appear. It may not seem like you have a real team, but they're there. They just need somebody to organize. Somebody got to step forward. That needs to be you. Somebody got to do it. And so, I mean, somebody. So it's really important that we take steps to reach out to different people and to say, hey, you come from Macon? You from this? You kin to the Wilkes? You kin to this one? Oh, I'm a cousin. I worked on our genealogy. Oh, this and that and that's and that. Well, I got a page on Facebook. Let's gather there. I got a group on Telegram, which is more private. Let's organize there. Let's meet up there. I'm gonna give you the link. We need to start doing these things so that we can actually make things happen. And you got people that will support your same vision because they exist. And y'all are looking for each other, but you ain't gonna find any being spectators. You're not gonna find that. It's hard to find it that way. You got to actively search for each other. Somebody got to be looking, and somebody got to be ready to receive.
So what Lisa's has done tonight is what she does every Friday night.
Powerful.
She's adding some spices to what you've already been thinking. Because all of you guys know we're gonna have to organize. We're gonna have to assemble. Because like she said, these foreigners coming over here and they're looking to do one thing: take everything out of your pocket. And if we're not astute enough to make sure that doesn't happen, if we don't care so we feel that we gotta have what they selling, and I don't see how that's possible. That's on us. Because see, they don't support you. Why the hell you support people that don't support you? Somebody explain that to me. So Lisa, any last words you want to share?
I want to say thank you to the chat. You're welcome, Antoinette, and thank you to everybody in the chat. And I want to say, you know, we got a lot of things that we can actually fight for. I just think you need to share this information with more people so that you can get people on board with this fight. Because I don't have exact lynching or loss of property like, some of these people in these articles and stuff have claims to. But a lot of you in the chat know a lot of people or are those people that are connected. You have a powerful, powerful thing to fight for. And there's no way you shouldn't do it. And as we all start getting on, how these daggone black activists, so-called, as we all get on real code, because the only real code is the indigenous Indian code. Okay. That's the only code to be on. So as we get on that, as we ride our indigenous current, then we will really receive all the correct messages. Then we will be on that right current to receive all the right messages and to travel in the right direction. That's what we need to be doing. So, thank you.
Lisa, thank you for joining us. Brother Cobb, your
Yes,
last
sir.
word. Your last word for the chat.
My last words is, how can I follow Lisa too? Darn, you was a powerful lady. I appreciate the knowledge, and I was speaking, I was on Sister Bethy's this morning, and we were talking this afternoon, and we were talking about the same thing, how we have just got to become more self-sufficient, and stop relying on people to tell us who we are. But I enjoyed, and I thank you guys for letting me join in with you tonight as well. Thank you, Carrie. And Carrie, I appreciate you accepting my friendship on Facebook as well.
Oh, sure, man.
Let me ask you a question. Where's Sister Bethy from?
She's from Connecticut.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Where's her people from?
South Carolina.
Are they?
That's what she told me. Well, she said she's got people. She said she's got people that's from that area. But from what I understood,
she looks like she's from the islands.
Okay.
Most people that live in that area of the country are immigrants from the islands as well.
Okay.
I would venture to say that she most likely is. And I will also say to people that a lot of people are doing these short. I'm just going to keep it real. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to say what I got to say. What people are doing is they're starting these organizations for indigenous people. These are just 503(c) clubs. They're clubs. They are not going to give you anything that you can pass on to your grandchildren, to your kin. They're not going to give you an identification that you can actually stand on. They are fake. Making up fake tribes is not real. She has a fake tribe. She has a fake tribe. They're not a real people. See, this is the thing. What are we doing? We cannot keep falling for people who are not doing real things. We can't keep doing it. They infiltrate us all the time. They mislead us. They distract us. They aren't doing anything real. They aren't offering anything real as solutions.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even look like she's one of us. Look at her eyes. They're very weird. I have a lot of friends from the islands, but but she's not, that's not a South Carolina look. I have a lot of friends from South Carolina. She's not a South Carolinian.
Yeah, well, she said she lived in Connecticut. I'm sorry.
She lives in Connecticut, but she says her people from South Carolina, but she also claims she was connected to a tribe who she lied about the identity. She actually connected herself to someone falsely, and they were gonna check her on that. Actually, the real chiefs of that tribe. But anyway, this is the thing: people do that. I mean, but I have a problem with the fact that we get distracted by these people who are charlatans, who really aren't real. I don't know what they're doing. It really frightens me because you know why? Because we don't have time for the dumb distractions. We
True.
don't have time for people who are doing fake things. We don't have
Like,
time for people who are making fake social groups when what you need is to organize yourself under real family genealogy based groups.
true. True.
That's not what she's doing.
Yeah, I was listening to her today because she had made a post that she had wrote up a proposal to counter, you know, indigenous people's, names and whatever the culture. She was trying to protect it so that it wouldn't be changed from African American to something else. So I was
What
just
is she
saying I was
talking about?
interested.
That sounds like bullshit because this is what it is. You have the right to call yourself what you want. Indigenous people, what are you going to do? She doesn't. You got to find your own people.
That's true. That's true.
I'm
You know,
Accomack Indian because that's where my people are from. Your
right,
people
right.
are from an area. They have a specific name. Organize
Exactly.
yourselves under your true genealogy. You don't need nobody fighting for no fake shit. She's a
No.
politician. She's not
Yes.
real. She's
Yes.
an agent. She works for the government. She literally does.
She does.
So
Um,
why do not we not see that for the charlatan that it is, just because she hangs under the umbrella of Dan Calloway. Dan Calloway, I don't even know what to say about Dan Calloway. All I know is that this is what we need to understand about what has been done to us repeatedly. I cannot stop now. What has been done to us repeatedly is this. They send people who walk us all the way to the edge. All the way to the edge, like Farrakhan is a devil. The white devil is a devil. He goes all the way to the edge, all the way over the edge, right? But he is one of them. He's one of them. But he takes you to the edge so that you believe that he's us, right? This is a formula that they use on us every time.
I agree with you.
In the
I
indigenous community, we have people who say all kinds of rowdy things, who are really about trying to act like they down for this and down for that and talk all, but they take you to the edge, but they aren't doing anything. Just like if you listen to the Black Authority, which I like listening to them because it's kind of interesting. Jason Black has kind of got a good voice. But if anybody comes on his program and they say, "Hey man, what can we do? Can we start a political party?" He cuts that off. "Hey man, what about this? What about what party should he has nothing to say because he's not trying to organize anyone. He is a herder of sheep. He herds you in a very, very strong way. He brings you all the way to the edge. So you really believe he's authentic, but he's not. We have the same thing in the indigenous world. These people act like they're rowdy about it and they are for you and they down for getting things done, but they're frauds. They're just herders. They're trying to really keep you from doing anything real because they can't tell you what concrete things they're doing that make sense. That's really
Lisa,
going to help the next generation.
Lisa, one of the questions I wanted you to answer is, could you explain how we recognize indigenous people from America as opposed to other people in the world? Because it seems that's something that we keep getting tripped up by.
asked that same question.
It's her damn picture. I think I had her picture this the other. Where is Miss Bethy's damn picture? Because I mean, she really don't look. Lord Jesus. I think I
I didn't mean to stir up a hornet's nest.
That's Phoenix. Let me see. I thought I had her somewhere. Hmm. Well, anyway, if you look at at that Miss Bethy's picture, I could tell you for a daggone fact, her eyes are going off to the side in a weird way. They're very, very far spaced. They don't look like anything like anybody in my family has ever looked,
All right, well,
And,
now you look at me and tell me now.
no, I'm just saying. I mean, I didn't see that with you, but
I'm
I'm just saying.
no,
You
I'm
know what
just
I mean?
picking with you.
We know. I mean, we got to be more discerning. But this is the thing about
Oh
us:
yeah.
our attention span and our attention to detail is really off. Like it's been off. We're way off with that. That's why they're
Well,
able to slip a lot of stuff by us these days because
mm,
we don't pay attention. We're not paying attention to the details, and we got to
I
pay attention to the details.
I read a lot of different things, and I listen to a lot of things for a lot of different reasons. And one is just like you said, to be able to acknowledge and pick out who's for or against you. And this is not no opinion for as far as Miss Sister Bethy goes, because I don't really know her that well as person, so I'm not gonna make that opinion about her. You probably know more about her because you probably studied a
Because
little
I
more about her, but I
research.
don't.
No,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
I research people.
I
Y'all don't
understand.
qualify nobody. How do you
No,
not
no, no,
qualify anybody? How do
no,
you
no, no,
not
no,
look them up? Because
no,
if you
no.
look up what is a Waya, what is her tribe? It's not nothing. That's not a real tribe.
Right, and just like
Who's
I
in
said,
it? Everybody from all over the place. That's not a real tribe. They're not related. They're not kin. It's a social group.
well, shit, yeah, and on like I said, when you go to look up her page, it says that they're just they're Indians from all over and whatever. But still, nonetheless, as far as just like you, I listen to you because I love your ideals and your approach, and you have a next step. You have solutions when you talk. Hey, y'all need to get some signs and go stand out in front of this place. That's what I'm saying. You have solutions. So I just listen to everybody's opinions just to because you can tell. I heard a guy named Lex Vortex the other day. I'm convinced he's the enemy. This guy.
Lex is just no. Lex a little cray. He's just a little off.
Yeah, I mean,
He's a
geez.
little Lex a little off. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, I was like, this guy is but I can tell that, but in the same approach, just like you. I mean, when you went on about Miss Bethy, I can't say anything about what you have to say about Miss Bethy because you obviously know more about her than I do. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
because I make it a point of knowing what
yeah,
people are about
and I
because
agree with you on that.
we
Because
need to.
yeah, I agree with you on that because one of my main things and one thing I teach my grandkids is to be your own scene. Don't be no follower, nobody. And that's
Right.
one thing I believe in. But if you're out here and you're doing things, and I think it's worth me listening to, or maybe even coming and joining in with some of the things you do. That's what I'm interested in now. I'm trying to figure out where everybody is and and what we are doing as a nation. I don't even call it as a race. I mean as a nation because we were a nation, and I'm trying to figure out how do we get back
No,
where?
we were many nations.
Yes,
So
yes, yes,
that's why everybody is not going to do things the same way. Some people are going to do things a
exactly,
little bit differently. That's okay. But you got to understand that these people are just there's more money in trying to deceive us than people feel. See, people don't
right,
even believe in our their own things that they're teaching. Because if they really knew how much we could have if we actually organize ourselves in the right way, then they would do it. But they don't believe it. That's why they do all this confusion stuff. That's why they're more
exactly.
interested in being YouTube organizers than being actual real organizers.
I
They're
hear
not
you.
trying
I
to
hear
do
you.
that. Okay,
I hear you.
because if they get more benefit out of that, out of
Yeah, I hear
creating
you.
confusion and out of playing games. That's what they want to do.
I
You
hear
know,
you, sis. I
being
feel
important and famous.
yes, I feel you. I hear it in your voice that you are down with solutions. You know, we were talking about earlier about land and stuff like that. I did research on my grandmother's. Uh, hello.
I know she did a thing with Sister Bethany. I was gonna see if I could see a picture.
I did I did my genealogical research on my grandmother's side, right?
Mm,
And when I first moved down to Kentucky, where we were always taken from the city, we would always spend our summer sometime down in Kentucky, South Central. And the house that my grandfather lived in, my great grandfather lived in, which he was still living all the way up until I was in my 20s. Um, it was given to him. It was given to him before the Revolutionary War, the Gullahs. And the house has been in our family for years, and it was recently torn down a few years ago. But what was going on was we had family members in the family that didn't want to do anything for the property and didn't want anybody else doing it. Now the city took it over. The good thing is, is that I have pictures and I have all this proof that that land belonged to our family. And now I'm trying to figure out how do I get this back
okay,
in
so
our
where's
family.
this at?
It's in Russellville, Kentucky, Logan County.
Okay, you had land in Russellville, and they took it for taxes.
I slept in the same house that was given to my grandfather during the Revolutionary War.
And
And
they took it for taxes.
yeah.
Okay, so what you need to do? Have you done any research on that grandfather? He probably
Oh,
got that land in a grant in the form of a deed or a patent or.
exactly. Exactly. And the thing is about it, I checked and our history goes way back, you know, and I know all the family members in that area that were related to us. I even have
Mhm.
pictures. I even have pictures of the man, the plantation owner that my family worked for, not slaved for, worked for. And even in that area where I'm talking about in the Black Bottoms is what it's called, the Black Bottoms.
Right,
My family owned a lot of businesses down there, grocery stores, and everything. And where some of the
right.
black people, were and my great grandfather was one of the first black railroad conductors after he got out of World War One. Sorry.
Right. And okay, so yeah, you're gonna have to do your genealogy and onto your grandfather. And on Ancestry now they have a lot of land patent and land, information on
Right.
Ancestry. In addition, that you need to go ahead and go to that town and go to the records that they have possibly in the area. But
Okay.
I'm sure you could easily connect yourself to that land. And especially him being a revolutionary soldier, that land was probably patented to him, granted to him. And that's stronger than any kind of real estate deal, because those type of land that type of land ownership supersedes any deed, right? So if it's a
So
grant, you can get that land. You can definitely get that land back.
so
And odds
and
are nobody's really doing anything now anyway, because a lot of
right.
our farmland. See, this is the thing. They take the land, but the land don't love them. So they take the land and they really can't win with the land. You see what I'm saying? They really don't profit like they want to with the land. So it ends up that now they found all this alternative mechanisms to make these fake foods, because they weren't really winning with the land anyway. We were the ones
And
that was really really making money off of the land, and
exactly.
they thought it was just the land, but it's
Exactly.
our hands in the land that made the growth happen. The green thumb thing is a real thing, but it's a copper colored thumb. It's a copper colored thumb that makes everything grow. You
I
see.
agree. You know,
So
I
I
I
mean,
I
so
truly
yeah, so
believe that our family had more land than just those particular places that I'm telling you about. The house that I was telling you about, they used to care for both sides of on this in the war for the soldiers. They would take care of the woundeds right there on that porch. And I played on that porch. The house was there just not too long ago. And it's sad because they wouldn't even let the historical people come in and even make it a historical spot in,
Who is that?
either.
Who is that?
It was a city of Logan County.
Well, you know what? In order to make change, you got to have boots on the ground. You know that, though.
Oh, I lived there, so my boots was definitely there. I was
but
trying to get,
you were living there at the time.
Oh yeah, and I still go back now, even going over paperwork down there in their archives and stuff like that. And I'm just trying to figure out where my grandfather and my great uncle, because both of them fought in the war at the same time. I'm just trying to figure out where those deeds are, like you're talking about, that showed that that land was given to us.
Right.
Right. So yeah, the boots are on the ground. Matter of fact, I don't wear out 2 pair of boots.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know how it is, though. Those little towns, you gotta be in there, hanging with them, in their face, showing your face, going to their meetings.
You know what makes it so hard is that I got relatives that still living that could answer these questions, but won't even say anything.
Well, okay, but they gotta live there. You know that.
But
they gotta live there.
Let me tell you something.
I got relatives that live there too, but they gotta live there, and they ain't trying to deal with these racists. They're not trying to deal with them.
Somebody told me once upon a time that certain people in your family are built for certain battles.
Right.
And I have never feared anything in my life.
Right.
So
Lisa, how do we recognize? Because a lot of people get confused. And being that we're having a whole bunch of immigrants here, and we can't do in these immigrant countries what these immigrants are doing over here. Could you tell us or share with us the easiest way to recognize these immigrants that are coming and trying to mix in with us?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's how they move. It's not just how they look, but it's how they move. They're predatory, right? Their level of I almost want to say hustle. Their level of greed is different. We're not as greedy as they are, right? Their ethics, they don't have ethics. We have ethics. Some things we just not gonna do for money. You know what I mean? We're just not that we're not gonna hustle or we're not gonna pimp or whatever. But what I'm saying is they will go to great lengths to work for the white man to deceive you. Not that we don't have people like that are us, but the great majority of them that do that are the same people that came here in the 1600s to do it. They're the same damn people. The same Europeans, the same foreigners that they brought over here to deceive us back in the 1700s. These are the same people that they're using today. They're the main people that are in the media. They're the main people who are in the media within the apps, within the the YouTube. Most of these people are not us. And if you look at him, you look at Tariq Nasheed. He don't look like us. He doesn't look like us. I don't care how much he says he is us, he's not us. Daggone that Chief Janice is not us. Daggone Phoenix Moon, I don't know what she is. Daggone Bethany, she's definitely not us. Okay. I don't know what the story is with Dane Calloway, but he's probably a European. His name is Dane. Even if that's not his real name, taking on the name of a Dane, the Danes are European. Calloway is a European name. If that is his real identity, then he is definitely a European. Not that they haven't been here for a long time, but they've been out here a long time deceiving the Indian.
So these are just some things she's sharing that you guys can look into. And we put this information out because we always falling for the okie doke. Anybody can tell us anything. What was that cat name that was molesting those girls? The
Oh, right.
African dude, brother Polite.
Wanabi. And the Wanabi guy was doing it too, right? They had the pyramids.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, y'all. That we be falling for stuff all the time,
Why did
and
anybody follow Polite? Look at him. Oh my God, he looks
right,
like a cockroach.
and,
Mm.
and we fall for it. So
Who
you
is
know, it's man, he's one of us, man. That's our brother. No,
who
he's
is
not.
polite? Who is polite?
It's not even worth mentioning, dude.
Oh, he's
Okay.
a
Seriously,
Pan African guy.
Oh, okay.
Went
it's
to
not
jail.
even worth. But I just wanted
I,
to share, wanted you to share with them how can you recognize these cats, and you gave a pretty good answer. That's cool. Look how they
Right.
move.
Their eye sets, they're different. They're gonna have different look to their eyes. They're gonna have a different shape to their jaw lines. They're gonna have different shaped heads. Their ears are gonna be a little different, but mostly it's their energy. Mostly it's how they move, and it's also the level of disrespect. See, like, let me tell you something. If you're a real Indian, this is what happens. Okay, let me tell you something. You're a real Indian. This is what happens. Even if we disagree, I'll be saying, look, I'll check somebody. I'll say, look, nah, that's not really correct what you're saying. Da 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 da. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Matriarch. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, okay, you're right. I'll make that correction. No problem. Blah 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 blah. It might be a loud, boisterous Indian, but they're gonna respect their elders. There's something in us. We know each other. That's the thing. We, without a doubt, know each other. We vibe. There is an energy amongst ourselves that we're not going to feel clearly with them. It's going to be a weirdness. It's going to be a little weird. And you're not going to know why that there's a little slight disconnect. But what you need to know is the slight disconnect is because they know that they aren't you. That you can be sure of. The other thing is that this whole thing of just disrespecting each other and just hating all just what. Nah, that's not us. That's not real Indians. Real Indians ain't gonna be that daggone hateful towards each other. Like, we're gonna be able to reel it back. Cause really, we don't like to really fight that much. Like, we don't really like to fight. We fight when we have to. We fight when it really means something. But over petty shit, we're just not trying to get down like that. It's not worth our energy. So, I mean, the people that do that, they're not us. The people that just fight over dumb shit and try to make issues out of things that ain't issues and want to be angry all the time, there's something else going on. I don't know what they are, but they something else.
And there you have it. So this is going to end this evening's broadcast. Check us out next week when we bring more Indigenous currents to you. I hope everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Peace out.